Alright, in this tutorial, I'll be showing you how to create a Windows 10 virtual machine. And before we do that, first of all, what we need is installation media for the Windows 10. So what I've done is I've created a customized Windows 10 operating system image media from the one that I've installed on my computer. So, and I've saved it under my downloads folder here and called it Windows 10 Pro 64-bit. And I'm going to use this image file to install the Windows 10. Or if you have a CD, you can put in a CD onto your computer, on your host machine, and we're going to create a guest virtual machine of Windows 10. So we're going to start off with clicking on New. We're going to name this Test, and it's going to be a Microsoft Windows type of virtual machine, and the version would be Windows 10 64-bit. Click on that, and we're going to allot. I have a total of 4 gigabytes of RAM on my host computer, and I'm going to use half of that for this machine. I'm going to allot that half of my RAM to this Windows virtual machine. Call this Windows 10. Test Windows 10. We're going to create a new virtual hard disk now. We're going to create one right now. It's going to be of type Virtualbox disk image. We're going to call this, the file location will be here. And we're going to allot like 80 gigabytes of it. And it's going to be dynamically allocated. So just in case if we run out of space, we can increase it dynamically. So we're going to create that. And it's going to create a new machine. And then we go to settings for this machine. And we're going to go through the options. Well, this machine is of type Microsoft Windows. Version is Windows 10. This is where we're going to store all our snapshots for this machine. Write in our description, encryption. You can enable encryption, but no, let's not. Let's just continue with what we have. And we've allotted 2 gigabytes of RAM to this machine. And this is the boot order. We don't need a floppy, so we're going to just lower that and disable that. And we're going to see how many processors we have. We have a total of 4 processors cores on this guest machine, and I'm going to use all of them. And the execution cap for the processor is 100%, so I'm going to leave it as 100%. I could decrease it and make it so that the machine only uses half of the core, the processing power for this machine. But no, I'm going to need all of it. So our virtualized interface will be default. VTX should be enabled. This will only work if your CPU processor has this feature in your CPU. And then we're going to display screen memory. We're going to allot 128 megabytes. We're going to keep 1 monitor count. And we're not going to use 3D acceleration or 2D video acceleration here. And remote display. We could also enable a VNC server instance for this machine so you can remotely connect if it's not on the same computer. Video capture, everything what we do on here. And no need for that. Now storage. We have a SATA controller emulated. This is our hard drive that we're going to install the Windows into. And this is our CD drive. And it's a virtual disk image file we're going to use for that. So we're going to mount that on this hard drive. I'm sorry, the CD drive. It's in my downloads folder, Windows 10 Pro, and open. There you go. It's loaded that. Audio, we have enabled audio. For this, it's going to install audio drivers. Networking, what we're going to do is we're going to bridge this network adapter on using this end. We're going to bridge this virtual machine's network adapter to our local host network adapter. And I'm using this one. Advance, and it's going to emulate one of these drivers. So I'm going to use an empty desktop one because Windows comes with a driver for this, and it's going to automatically install the network driver once we install the Windows. Serial port, don't need serial ports. USBs, we don't need it, but if you want to, you can leave it on. And since we installed the extension pack, we can install the 3.0 controller as well. Shared folders, we haven't mounted any shared folders, so no need for that. And everything's fine. Go back to system. Motherboard, and the boot order should be the CD first. Boot the CD first. So that's okay. Everything looks good. Okay, and then click on OK. So this is what it is. Now we're going to start the machine. It loads up. And it's going to load the CD. Boot image. It's going to take a while, so we're going to wait for that. So it loads up the this Windows setup window, and language to install is United States. Time and currency format. Since I'm in Australia, I'm gonna choose Australia over here. English Australia, and then I'm gonna click on next, and I'm gonna go install now because it's a fresh install, and it's gonna start up. Then I'm gonna wait. You can see it's reading the CD. This is the terms and license. I accept this, and I'm not upgrading to anything from anything, so I'm gonna do a custom install, which is gonna be a new fresh install. Under this option, it's what it's gonna do is it's gonna keep the files and settings and applications, and it's just gonna upgrade the operating system. There's nothing installed, so there's no need for this. So I'm gonna go custom. This is the hard drive that we created. We're gonna install it on here. Click on that, select, and click next. And this is gonna take a while. So once it's done copying files, we'll come back to this. As you can see, the hard drive is also working here because it's a red dot. It's a read and write to it, and it's a green dot over here. It's reading from the CD image. Okay, we're gonna wait for this, and then we're gonna come back when it's done. Okay, so now we're done with the installation. It's gonna restart. We're gonna click on restart. It's gonna say boot from CD. No, we're not gonna press the key because we want to boot from the hard drive. And it's gonna boot from the hard drive. And it's gonna continue with the installation. Okay, now in order to save time, what we're gonna do is instead of using customized settings, we're just gonna use express settings. Click on that. Okay, so since we don't have we're not part of any network, or it's just a standalone installation. So what we're gonna do is we own this. Select this option and click on next. I don't have a Microsoft account, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna skip this test step, and I'm gonna create a administrative user test called test. I'm not gonna give a password to save time. I'll click on next. And there you go. We have installed Windows 10 successfully. Now it's gonna ask to update the PC. I think it's got a new service pack or something. But we're gonna skip this now for now because this is outside the scope of this video. I just wanted to show you how to install Windows 10 in a virtual machine on Virtualbox. So that's done. So after that, we'll just switch it off, shut down. And there's one more thing we need to do just before this is ready. Shut down the machine. And then we're going to go to the settings for this machine. And since we're not, we're going to take the CD drive out of the boot order at boot. And then we're going to go under storage. We're going to delete the CD drive from the virtual machine. We're going to remove it, not delete it, but remove it. And there you go. After that's done, everything's good, click on OK. And there's one more thing if you want to do. You can create snapshots of this machine just in case if you do something and want to reset it to a old time. Just roll it back. So what we'll do is we're going to create a snapshot of the current machine. We're going to call this fresh install. And okay, so go back to details, and we're gonna start this again and see what happens when it loads up. Will it load the CD first or the hard drive? We're gonna go straight to the hard drive. My guess is it's going straight to the hard drive. There you go. And we're logging into the test user, which is the administrative user for this virtual machine that we created. And that is how you install a virtual machine, Windows 10 on a virtual machine under Virtualbox. I'll show you what I did just before I shut it down. So see if the CD-ROM still shows up. And no, there is no CD-ROM. Let's see if let's go to device manager and see if you can see a CD-ROM. Device manager. This drive's gonna be Virtualbox hard drive. And let's go to disk management. And there you have it, only one disk, which is our system drive. And there you go. We're done. We installed Windows 10 on Virtualbox. And that's it. Let's just shut it down. Power off. There you go. So if you like this video, click like, and if you want to subscribe to my channel, click on subscribe button.